What's up guys, and welcome to the very first episode of my brand new career mode for FIFA 23. This is a realistic career mode and I'm so excited for this project to begin. Now the emphasis of this save is going to be all about realism, and I have to say, starting off this challenge with Everton, this is going to be a really fun project because as we know, Everton have been struggling over the past few years, and today I'm pretty sure they're going to sack manager Frank Lampard as well. Yeah, I'm recording this commentary on Monday, the 23rd of January, and after their loss to West Ham on Saturday, they are joint bottom of the Premier League alongside Southampton, and I think it's pretty nailed on that Frank Lampard is going to go either today or tomorrow. So Mashiri said give it doxy till the end of the season, and I am here at Goodison Park. So very excited for this project, and as the title says, and as I mentioned a moment ago there, this save is going to be all about realism, okay? This is going to be a realistic career mode, which is obviously very hard to do because of the absurd transfer market in FIFA CM, but I'll do my absolute best to keep this project and keep this save as realistic as possible. And that means that in Season 2, don't expect us to be in the Champions League, knocking out Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. No, this is an Everton team which, as we know, has struggled mightily over the past few years. It is crazy to think that not too long ago, they had Carlo Ancelotti at the helm with James Rodriguez in their side, but this season, of course, they've struggled massively in the relegation zone right now. They only just survived last year, and Frank Lampard is probably going to go, if not today, tomorrow, or at some point before their following fixtures. So yeah, Everton have struggled mightily, and their team is okay. You know, it's a four-star team. It's all right. They've spent quite a bit of money after losing Richarlison in the summer to Tottenham Hotspur, but it's safe to say they haven't really got the return on investment so far. I think their best signing to me this year has been Amadou Onana. I really do like the Belgian, very powerful midfielder, but for the most part, it's a pretty average team, I've got to be honest here. They've not really made that much significant improvement for quite a long time now, despite the fact they have spent quite a lot of money. Everton have spent quite a lot of money over the past decade, but they've lost Lukaku, they've lost Richarlison, and they haven't really managed to make many steps forward. And I would definitely say that whilst they have brought some decent players, I don't think really the problem with Everton has been investment. I think it's been on recruitment, you know, and the sort of players they've brought in. They've spent money, but I think they've also wasted a lot of money as well. So with Everton in this transfer window here, I will say this right now, I am going to try and do this as realistic as possible, and that means that don't expect me to blow the team up in the very first transfer window. No, in Season 1, I want you guys to be seeing this Everton team very similar to the team you're watching in real life right now, which means that, you know, I'm not going to sell players that have just arrived. I'm not going to sell players that are still here. I might possibly sell one or two players. There's rumours that Begovic is going to leave the club. I might sell possibly Andros Townsend in the final year of his contract. I'm not too sure, but I'm not going to go ahead and sell, you know, your Jordan Pickfords or you know, your Michaelenkos. I'm going to make sure that the team you're watching right now in real life is very similar to the team you'll see in this save as well, which means that it's also true for incomings as well. For transfers, we'll try and do this as realistically as possible, especially in the very first season. Not much change to the Everton team to keep it realistic, and only look to bring in players to be linked to in real life or stick with Everton's current transfer philosophy. And that does mean the first signing I would make with Everton's is coming in with a £50 million budget is the guy that is likely to come in the next 24 or 48 hours. Yet the former cherry that now plays for Villarreal in Spain, Danjuma, is likely to join Everton in the next 24 hours or 48 hours. I'm pretty sure it's going to come in this week. So Danjuma was the first signing I would make because it is, of course, very realistic. Everton have really struggled for goals this season, unsurprisingly, after losing Richarlison to Spurs. They've bought Neil Maupay from Brighton for around 20 million, but he's been very underwhelming indeed. I have to say, I thought it was a really bad move from Everton. Didn't think he was worth that kind of money. Didn't think it was worth bringing him in as their replacement for the Brazilian. Obviously, DCL, as we know, hit and miss, but also quite injury prone as well. So they are definitely looking to bring in Danjuma from Villarreal. Again, I think it's probably going to happen imminently over the next day or two. And he's a very good striker. You know, good goal-to-game ratio at Villarreal. We know he's very, very quick, very agile, very good pacey striker. So we signed him for, I think it was £40 million, which I believe is about what Everton are going to pay in real life. It might be around 35 mil. I couldn't get him any cheaper than 40 mil. 40 mil is about what they're going to pay in real life. So the transfer fee and the signing, both very realistic. And again, that's going to be the key there. You would have seen there a moment ago a bid for Neil Maupay from VfB Stuttgart. But of course, I turned it down because whilst I'm not sold on the guy and he might not be here for the long term, he's literally only just arrived, you know, he's literally just come in. He's not going to leave in 3 weeks, so of course we turned it down. So again, signings, sales, and also contracts as well. You would have seen a moment ago there with Danjuma. I could have put him on lower wages. He asked for lower wages, but the contracts need to be realistic as well. This career mode is all about realism, hence the title. So yeah, we're going to do things as realistically as possible, and that includes all elements, you know, especially in the transfer window. Sales, you know, destinations we sell players to, signings, what sort of players we look to bring in, the identity we try and build here with Goodison, but also as well, the contracts need to be quite realistic too. So with Everton, again, they're a 4-star team. You would have seen the objectives of the first season laid out to me to finish in mid-table, which I definitely think the Everton fans will take after a poor season last year, and right now, once again, looking very likely to be in a very strong relegation battle between now and the end of the season. So for the first game away at the City Ground, newly promoted Nottingham Forest on the opening day, this was already going to be a bit of a relegation 6-pointer against Steve Cooper's side, who, you know, obviously spent heavily themselves in the summer. I think it was 21 new signings coming in, lots and lots of players being bought, and in the end it was a new signing for this save who got them their opening goal in the Premier League. Alessio Zerbin from Napoli, who was signed in this transfer window for Forest. He scored the opening goal as they took the lead. And I'll be totally honest here, I kind of stumbled out the blocks a little bit on match day one. I did go close early on, as you would have seen, a little bit unlucky not to take the lead, but after Zerbin got the opening goal, I never really recovered from there. I'll be honest here, I was a little bit limp in attack, a little bit laboured, and to be fair, that, I guess, was a little bit realistic, as we know Everton this season struggled for goals. I think they got the second worst record in terms of goals scored this year, I think, only behind Wolves. But even so, I really struggled in this game for creativity and finishing as well. So opening day defeat there away at the City Ground against Forest, and no doubt about it, as I said at the top of the episode here, this is not an Everton team that I'm going to be targeting to sneak in the top 4 with in the final few games. No. This is an Everton team who, you know, are struggling in real life, and thus they will probably struggle with us this season in the first year as well. To me, mid-table is my target. If we could break into the top 10, that's a dream scenario, but really, anywhere between 11th and 15th, 16th place, that's my target this year. I definitely think we're good enough to do that, but I wouldn't say anything better than that is too realistic to expect in our first season with an Everton team in transition. So our following game was our first one at Goodison this season. Obviously, a lovely old ground, Goodison Park, great ground, as long as you don't get stuck behind one of the white beams. But even so, taking on the Cherries, again, another newly promoted side here under Gary O'Neill. Obviously, a great run after they sacked Scott Parker on the back of their record, infamous 9-0 loss away at Anfield. Great return and run under Gary O'Neill, but since then, they've struggled. They've really struggled. Got a point on the weekend against Nottingham Forest, but they've still really struggled. A lot of people do tip them to go down this year. So, taking on the Cherries at Goodison Park, first home game of this season, coming out to the lovely Z Cars theme tune. Taking on the Cherries, we would get our first goal of the season. Alex Iwobi, the former gunner, gave us the lead. Lovely finish as well past Mark Travers as we drew first blood in, again, possibly a very early relegation 6-pointer. Bournemouth did almost get back on level terms soon afterwards, though. Good save by Jordan Pickford there, wearing the armband with Seamus Coleman in the reserves right now. He kept us still leading by a goal at the break, and in the second half I thought I probably will need another goal here to try and wrap up these points, and 6 minutes after the restart, well, if he was going to get his first goal for the club, shock horror, it comes against one of his former teams. Yep, Danjuma steps inside the last man. It's a brilliant finish into the bottom corner from the former Villarreal forward, and that's the sort of thing that Everton fans will be hoping he can do in real life as well. No doubt about it. We've got DCL, Maupay's just come in as well, but this guy's going to be my main striker this year, and I'm sure my main source of goals as well. So his first Everton goal coming at home to makes it 2-0, and with a minute to go, still leading by 2 goals here. I really turned it on in the second half, and to be honest, at this point, it could have been 3 or 4, ended up having my finishing being a little bit better, and in stoppage time, a chance to make it 3, which we would do. Aaron Gordon, the youngster out of the academy, getting sent through one-on-one with Mark Travers, rounds the Irish goalkeeper with a ball roll, puts him on the floor and strokes it in to the unguarded net. 3-0 Everton, and that is what I needed, because I think this season Goodison needs to be a fortress. You know, it really does. It's a really atmospheric ground, passionate fans, as we know. You know, this is definitely going to be the key for our survival this year, and comfortable survival as well. I think on the road we might struggle. I think we might struggle to pick points up away from Goodison this year, but if we can turn Goodison into somewhat of a fortress, then I definitely think we've got a great chance of surviving comfortably this year. I think the home form is going to be really important. We can't afford collapses like only Southampton they had last week when they were leading by a goal and lost it 2-1. No. We need to make sure Goodison is a really strong place for teams to have to come and try and get points. So big win there, first win as Everton manager. We couldn't really celebrate it too much. I mean, it's again a newly promoted side who many people predict to go down, the Cherries this season. So really, how we not won that game would have been massively disappointing. So good, comfortable win. But I knew there was going to be much tougher games to come, including in midweek. Wednesday night, our third and final game today away at Craven Cottage against Fulham. Another newly promoted side, but this one come in the Carabao Cup though, and you would have seen from my formation for the game, I decided to rotate my entire team because the Carabao Cup is not important to me. And now we're out of it, I can forget all about it. At the end of the day, our first season at Everton, it's all about staying in the Premier League. Forget the Carabao Cup, forget the FA Cup when it comes around in January. It's all about staying in the Premier League. So I put a backup side out there. Did allow me to experiment and try a different formation. I went 5-4-1, but really, 5 at the back systems aren't my sort of thing. It's way too defensive for my sort of play. So yeah, lost the game 2-0, but I wasn't really that fussed about it. We're there again on the weekend, but that's in the Premier League, a far more important game for us. So that will end the first episode of the Realistic Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, if you have, then please do drop a like. If you're a new viewer to the channel, by the way, then please do click the subscribe button. I upload career mode videos every single day and normally twice a day as well. I do my best to keep this series daily as well, and the next episode will be returning tomorrow, where we'll have transfer deadline day of a week to go in the summer window, and with this 4-star team and 13 million in the budget, if you've got any transfer suggestions for me whatsoever, keep them realistic. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching the first episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please drop a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career Mode very soon.